Hi guys, it's a new thing to plan, and I am here with my February flip through, finally. So I'm going to just flip through this bad boy. I know this video is a little bit late. It's a lot late actually. This has been sitting on my desk waiting for me to flip through it for the longest, but I have been just so busy in March. And so, it gets up when it gets up. So I am flipping through it today. I didn't have time to go through and kind of censor some of the names and private information. And so we'll have like blur boxes for those areas that are a little bit more sensitive. And so you'll just kind of see that go up. But this is going to be mostly just like a few decorative spreads, but mostly functional spreads. So we will get through all of that. So in February, I had my full gamut of all of the planners. And so this will be a lot to flip through. I used this cover, super beautiful, and a set of rose gold expander discs. I did have this cover on it just to protect the Happy Planner cover, and I like using this because this can get scratched up, but I don't want my Happy Planner cover to get scratched up. And so again in February, I did have like all of the sections that I decided in March to delete. So I had my chores section. I actually ended up not updating this at all. So the daily chores, I had printed this out a long time ago. Weekly cleaning schedule, monthly cleaning, spring cleaning, and then fall cleaning. And then I also have a couple of printables that I printed out years and years ago and put in here, which I haven't even touched. And then I have the daily chores pages that are in here, as well as some like older transparency pages that I use to kind of write on so I can save these pages. But again, I didn't touch any of this section in February. So all those sheets are in there. These sheets come from the household extension pack. I have the one that includes this divider on the very front. So if you're looking for it, this will be the part that peeks out from like the packaging. But that's where those sheets came from. But they have released several household extension packs that have this same format. It's just like different like colors and things like that. So the design's a little bit different, but the layout's the exact same. These sheets are from the Declutter 365 program that I'm trying to do. This is a free download, but you have to like sign up for the link, like for the email registration, and you can get this every month. Since I registered early enough, I did get the entire year. And so the entire year is printed out on white paper. And then I have the notes from the year before, 2021. And so I'm just using it to kind of compare and contrast. Again, didn't touch that section at all in February. Right, and so that's that section. Then the second section, the first planner, is going to be my chores planner. And so, oh, this is from January. Okay, I don't know why I put that in there. Okay, so I do know why I put it in there. I needed a place to store it since I deleted this planner. So this is February. What I was doing in January, you can see here, I was copying over the 365 prompts. Didn't even do that this year. Didn't even redate or anything. I think these are the correct dates, but I'm not quite sure. But these are the weekly pages. One of the things I noticed in February was very little writing was happening. I did go through and decorate, but I was writing very little. So I decided that for March, I would just delete this planner just because like I feel like a lot of wasted space. I didn't write anything here, right? So I just felt like it was wasted space. I didn't really need it. But one thing that I did do was move the sticky notes to sticker release paper. And they're in here right now. But once I like break down this planner, I'm going to move that probably to my sticker book or like to my actual home binder. So that way I have all of these to reference since I'm not using this planner anymore. So then the third section is Sophia's question and answer journal. And so what I do is find prompts online. I will do my best to remember to link it this time, but I have used a book with these prompts. And so I typed them out on like just regular paper and designed like just the number and the box and then put the text in there and just taped it down over the numbers for the teacher layout. And then I did go ahead and go through and like start dating for the years. And, some days we do miss, but what I do is just try to ask her the question every day. Like you'll see in our March flip through that like I didn't ask her the question at all, I feel like. And then I did start to go through and start to decorate some of this just because like there was a lot of blank space. Apparently this week I didn't ask her at all in 2021. And we didn't start until June 2020. So there was just a lot of blank space. I thought I would fill it in with some of her stickers started doing the same thing here. But again, it's mostly just pen to paper, me writing down what she says every year. And it's kind of fun because it says, like, what was the last thing that made you laugh? This is the very last day of February. And in 2021, she said doing funny faces. And then in 2022, she said a very similar thing. She said when she makes this face, and she like kind of like made the motion of making the funny face. So she has very similar answers for some of these, which I think is kind of interesting. All right. This is her memory book, Sophia's. Some of this will be blurred out just because there are names and things like that. But what I use here is, again, a teacher layout. And I covered this section up and redate across the top. And they are categorized by rows. So this is her dad's side of the family, then her, then my side of the family, then her grandparents, and then any news that we have. This week was the Chinese New Year, and so I put the tiger, which I feel like threw off the entire spread, but then this Mulan sticker I thought was super cute. Right, this will be blurred out, but these are just notes from school that were sent home at the very beginning of the month, beginning of February. Same thing, just school notes. And these were notes from dance. Again, all of this will be blurred out, so I'll just flip through that. All right, and then here's the next spread. You'll notice what I just did there was like the week before was like January 31st through the 6th, and any notes for that week, January 31st through the 6th, I kind of pasted between the weeks, and so now I jump into the next week. This is February 7th through the 13th, and any notes for this week I post in between the pages. And so I love this. We ended up doing a crafts, and I glued them down pretty carefully, but they keep falling off, so I'm glad to finally like put this on the shelf, just because like I was moving it a bunch and like actually using my planner, and these kept falling off. So I think they're finally down for good though. But again, I pasted in the stuff that happened this week. And one of the big things that happened this week was we were out of town for my and my husband's anniversary. Unfortunately, Sophia went with us, so it wasn't necessarily an anniversary trip. It was more so a family trip, but we took a short trip to New Orleans. So here's some photos from that. I'll blur this out because my husband's on there and he doesn't like to be in the photos. But we stayed at the Ritz-Carlton and had dinner at the Ritz. So that was really nice. We ended up not doing much of anything else though. It was a very short trip. It was just one night in and left the next morning. But we did have some fun, so I journaled a little bit about it. And then the second half of this page are some of the cards for Valentine's Day. Now Valentine's Day fell on Monday. And so because it was on Monday, I decided to put the cards here just because I had the extra space. And then you flip over and here's the 14th. So it's just whatever happens between the weeks. Hopefully that makes sense. And I did go through and add photos. Really love this. Super simple though. I wish I had more time to do more with it, but that's what we ended up doing. Then this is the last week of February. I like this. I love kind of like what it looks like. And then this should be pasted down. Right here at the end of this week, we ended up going on a cruise, and so I have bunches of notes from the cruise, so that should have been taped down. But here's a letter from Christine Duffy about the Ukrainian invasion, like the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and just like taking care of the staff and just making sure that we acknowledge that there are people from around the world working on the cruise ship. At dinner every day, well, not every day, some of the days, Sophia received her own little like coloring pack, so I put that in here for her. And then she decided to play trivia with us one day. I wrote down her answers this day, but she was very unhappy because she kept getting them wrong. So she put the big X on there and then drew hearts on the back just to say she was okay with losing. And then here is the second carnival menu that we received in February. She has a couple others, but they're in her March planner. And then this page I never did anything with. Since this page is here, I don't know if I want to glue them together, but the menu is exactly the same from this to this, so I might just glue it together and just kind of move it straight over. But then I didn't even fill out this page. This is supposed to be like all the things that she's done and the movies she's watched, the games she's playing, but I didn't fill it out, and that's okay. I'll just survive. So this one, next section, is my work planner. Some of this might be blurred out as well. These are old planner pages that I resized to classic, but I was going to use this to track my work hours, but this is actually what I did to track work hours. And I don't need to keep work hours. I'm salaried, but I just like to know how I'm working. You can see I'm like super busy on Wednesdays and Tuesdays a lot of times. And so then here I decided to do like this kind of random like habit tracker. Hated this. So I did it for, a good, like I actually colored it in, and then I started using checks, and then I stopped using it. I think I didn't actually work then though, but I did use it for the entire month, but just hated it. So this is retired after less than a month. So then we go into the actual weeks. Some of this will be blurred out right here, but it's pretty much just pen to paper. I do use a couple of washi strips and highlight the classes that I am teaching and any meetings that I have. So that's how I kind of keep myself on track. I did use this with like kind of times in mind. So it starts at 7, then it goes from 7 to 7:30 and just all the way down in 30-minute blocks. Again, this will be blurred out. But there are things that happened or like scheduled but ended up not happening. Yeah, so it's just, again, pen to paper mostly. Again, the top part will be blurred out. I did try to keep all of my advising notes at the top, so, I could be a little bit more organized. So that is kind of helpful. I could just blur out that top section right there. All right, and that's pretty much it for that. Again, this needs to be taped down, but then I decided to print out all of my like task lists. I probably will blur out all of this just because it's like super messy, but I'll leave some of it so you can kind of see, but it's just a printout of like all of my task lists from like my like a Word document. And then the rest of this is just like work notes, and some of it's like sensitive information, so I definitely won't flip through it. And I put this here just to cover that stuff up. Then this section is my personal planner. Like we're getting there, like halfway through. This is my February monthly. I did do this on video as a plan with me, and then I never filled it out. So I just will be okay with that. This is my first weekly spread for February. I love this. This is like beautiful to me. I actually really enjoy decorating like the vertical layout. I should use like, maybe I will one day use all vertical layouts. Okay, so then I stuck this in here because they gave us like some February stickers, and did I end up using? No, I didn't. I got it this weekend. I think I used it next week. So I put the actual like postcard from the mail out in here, but then I'll use the stickers in next week. And I'll blur this out just because it's a picture of me and my husband for our anniversary weekend. And these were the stickers, these stickers were what we received from Wild University, that postcard that you saw last week. This was also like, we went on Mardi Gras parade and it was Valentine's Day. I don't love the spread, actually. I really hate it, but it got me through the week, so that's okay. And that was kind of a weird week because it was the week right before vacation, between two trips, essentially. And so here, I did decorate this, and, we went on the cruise here. So a lot of it is a little bit repetitive, but like my personal planner is separate from Sophia's memory book. So I did finish out all of the My Little Pony clip shows, the clip episodes. So this will finally be retired for the like final time. And then here is where I was like starting to reorganize my sticker book, like my sticker release DIY custom sticker book. So I was just taking notes on this just to get that done. And then I started to go back and watch some old Disney movies. And this is just me writing things out by hand. But I went through and just kind of updated this. It wasn't this section. Let me see where I updated it. I started watching some of these episodes, some of the like wartime videos that Disney released. And so I started watching those. And so this page, I know I was watching on it because I updated it a little bit. And then I just included the entire section just because I didn't want to like have one sheet pulled out from it with no context, right? So I included the entire thing. Then all of these notes, like just a few like TV shows and things like that, I put that into my home binder. So again, one of the reasons why I'm deleting the home binder is because I was feeling like I needed to put it in different sections of my planner. And so now that I've deleted the home binder for like as a section for my March Frankenplanner, I'm putting all of the notes in my personal planner. So any like chores or any like TV shows or any other notes that I pull out of my home binder and I'm using that month, I just include here in my personal section. And then when I'm done with it, I just move it back into the home binder. So I'll probably actually, like I do plan to move this into my March Frankenplanner since I'm still using some of these Disney notes. But the My Little Pony one, I can actually put back into my home binder since I'm not using it actively. So hopefully that makes sense. Then here is just like the blackout paper that I picked up in a haul, and so I was testing it out, and that's super cute. Just stuck it in here again, like pretty much everything ends up in here. Then again, we were on a cruise, and so here are my cruise notes, where I was packing. I added a couple of things to this as I was packing. Then I was really super busy the day before our vacation started, so I just felt like I really needed like a long to-do list, so I used one of my sheets for that. And I did decorate a couple of like daily pages for the cruise itself. I ended up taking 0 photos, even though I brought my Polaroid zip with me. I ended up printing no photos, but the idea is to go back and put dinner pictures here. So that's why I wrote in crayon, using one of Sophia's crayons during dinner to put dinner here. So I was using this regularly to take notes, but I ended up not printing the photos themselves, and I just don't think I'll go back and do that. But then I ended up just taking lots of journaling notes and kind of talking about our schedule. So that's what I ended up doing for the entire trip. So this side I ended up not using. And then, I should have put this on here, but I wanted to kind of make this cute little fold out of like the morning schedule, and pasted in some of like the kind of fun time notes and pictures and things like that. And so then again, it's just mostly our schedule. And I didn't even put the date, I'm noticing. Right, and then this, again, I made this all on video, but like I had planned to again put photos and journaling here, but I ended up not doing that. So I'll probably just tape it all the way down so it's not like flying like that. But again, it's mostly our schedule, right? And that's the end of my personal planner. The rest of this will be super short because I didn't do a lot in my other sections really. This was my faith planner. I didn't do anything for this week. I did attempt to try to do it one per day, but the only thing I ended up doing was pasting in something from church. And then the week after that, the 13th, not the 13th, the 20th. The 13th, we were in New Orleans. So the 20th, when we went back to church, I took a couple of notes here just on like some pages that I had in my purse planner. And then I just moved them in here, and they are from the 20th. So I, again, was planning to tape that down. And then the 27th was the last Sunday of February, and we were, again, out of town on the cruise. So that was it for faith. Then this section is creativity. Again, this is going to be very short, but this is where I put coloring pages, lettering, doodling, like any like kind of fun projects that I have going. I put them in here. So I did do this piece on the 2nd of February, colored this piece. Don't know exactly when, probably like the 3rd or 4th. But anyways, sometime in February. And then I started this piece, but I can't finish any of these things, as you can see. But that's pretty much it. Then for wellness, what I ended up doing was just using this monthly. And I just track like big self-care beauty items on here. And I have a specific letter for each of these things. So that's kind of what is here. It's kind of embarrassing to look at that. But anyway, and then this is the back of the monthly, which I didn't use at all. And one of the things that I did do was kind of have the idea, and I've decided to move all of my notes for my planner therapy series into wellness. And so these are all the notes from that. One of the pages I did was on prudence. And one of the interventions that I kind of talked about in the video was making sure that I have an hourly routine and just being cognizant of tracking your hourly routine. So that's that page. And then the second intervention is having like removable or like sticker notes that can kind of like be transferred from page to page and like land on the actual like major date, the date that you actually do the task. So that's all explained in the video. So that I just put it in here. I'll probably, again, take all this out. I don't want to waste these stickers, right? So eventually this will move and live in a different spot, not in this Frankenplanner. And then the second like planner therapy in February was about love. I think it was about love. I'm pretty sure it was about love. I don't recall. All right. And I only did it one as the demo on the video, but this is just writing love letters to my daughter. So I did that one on video. And then I also in this section include like crossword puzzles. I'm playing a crossword where the author is just like very punny, like writes lots of puns. And so I like to write like the major pun related jokes into like just on a sheet of paper and just kind of like look at just to have it, right? So it's the title of the crossword and then like the clue, and then the answer. And so I just wrote that here, and that's kind of what those are. And this is just a blank page. And then, I actually had a third planner therapy video in February. I did great in February, actually. And so in the very end, I put together a curiosity list. And this has actually been one that I've been using myself in March, and it's working out great for me. I love doing this. And so again, there's a video on that explains it a lot more. And then here's just some examples of some of the things that I've just like randomly started looking up. They should have ended up on this page, but I just didn't do that, but that's that. And since, again, we were on a cruise, I included all of like any kind of gamey Sudoku things that I was playing, as well as the trivia that we did. And so those are all the notes from trivia. We were on Carnival, so if you've been on a Carnival cruise, you know they do trivia pretty much all the time. And so I included those in there. Right. Then we have our food log, which on here I barely tracked anything, but I put basically my steps, my weight, and that kind of stuff. But I only like put 3 weights pretty much. And then here is one page that I attempted to decorate, but mostly it's just food log. I just ignore this and I just put it breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, and that's the order. I did decorate this page because I had pulled out these stickers for Sophia's spread, so I just went ahead and decorated this as well. But we were in New Orleans this week, and so I took a picture of the menu, but mostly pen to paper. Included some of the photos from our home chef kit that ended up coming to my house, and so these are from the recipe card. Cut that out and put that in there. And then we were on the cruise, so again, I moved down a size. I wasn't in my classic, and so these came from my purse planner. And these are just the notes from the cruise. And it was just, again, pen to paper. All right, getting very close. Second to last section here is my social media. I'm noticing I didn't go through and print all the photos for February, but what I do is, I kind of started it, but I just print out all the photos to the correct square. I mean, it works for Instagram because they're already square, but I just print them out and just paste them. I don't worry about the order. I just paste them until I run out of room or run out of pictures. And that's pretty much it for social media. I forgot to mention this, but I do the same thing for Sophia's memory book as well. I print out a photo a day for her and do the same thing. I just post it. For her, I do put it on the day, but here I just put it just not randomly, just like in lines like this. But for Sophia, I do put it on the date. But you know, it's just a photo a day, basically. And here it's just random. In Sophia's, it's just a photo a day on the day. But this is social media. I had big goals to use this particular section I need to like lift this up a little bit, I think. But I have big plans to use this section to kind of track big events, but I never did it. I did put a single little thing right here, but didn't use that at all. And then this is what it looks like. Yeah, like I had lots of difficulties. I was able to post lots of videos, but I had lots of difficulties with technology. So this video was supposed to be like here, but then it ended up being like posted on Sunday morning. I'm going to blur that out. That was like me just kind of kvetching about like the technology issues. Don't want to be negative on here. And so then like had a period where I wasn't posting any videos or any Instagram. So it's YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, and then like just news. Planner related stuff that I've been doing. So that's kind of the order. This week was super bare. Again, this I think was the week. This was the week that we were out of town. And I was obviously very busy elsewhere in my life. So the week between, I actually did a great job. And so you can kind of see like some planner sections are very bare certain weeks and some are very full. So this week, apparently I devoted to like filming quite a bit. And so I have all of the notes for the things I wanted to film. I ended up filming quite a bit this week. I do remember it now. And so that's what I ended up doing, which means I wasn't doing a ton of like personal stuff. I wasn't doing a lot of work stuff, you know, so I did go to work, but I didn't like do anything beyond the normal hours kind of thing. And then this was the week that we were on vacation. So I decided, since it was the end of the month, to kind of list out all the videos that I had pre-recorded and had ready, or like that I needed to get ready. And so that was there. And then these are all the things I wanted to kind of post on Instagram, but I was very bad about Instagram. So that ended up not happening, a lot of that. And then again, notes and just like random stuff. Like the color block does work for me, but it's not the greatest. So anyway, here I didn't even date it, but this is for my February monthly. I track all of my bills here, and I didn't even do it. You know, like that's really bad. I put my one thing for the house. I paid that super early just because we were on vacation. And then here, I didn't do this page because I was just using literally what I had in January, like the pages from January and as a reference. And so I didn't even fill this out. These pages are here. I did actually do my daily expenses though. And what I do is put the dates, put where I went, and like maybe like a small note about what I purchased, the actual amount. And then here, instead of need and want, I actually put the category that the cash is supposed to come from, and then I subtract it from like that category. So I have a running list of like the exact dollar amount that should be in my prop money cash envelope. So that's what I do. The red over here is where I went way over budget. One of the big ones was the Carnival cruise. I ended up paying almost $1,200 for it, but I decided to put in $1,200 into my travel account to cover that cost and like gratuities and things like that. And so $1,200 ended up being pulled out of savings and used for that trip. So it eventually balances again. But these are like, my fun was way over, and then travel was way over, and then at the end of the month, I decided to add the 1,200 you can see here so it could come back into the black. But yeah, like it was lots of red. The big ones were travel, and then fun went over by $60. And I did add money to travel. I did not add money for fun. And then the other one was education. We ended up paying a bunch of fees for Sophia's recital. And so that was over by $4. And that was here. Luckily, we didn't pay anything else in education, so we would have been over a lot in that category. But that was really just that set of expenses got it to like over $4. And I ended up balancing all of that out in March in my budget video. So I did post that and kind of talked about like how I do that by just like reducing the amount that I put into the envelope in March. So yeah, you can check out that video if you're interested in that. And then I'm going to leave this covered because there's like some decoration here. I did purchase the covers from a D-Stash group. And so the person I purchased it from, I should just remove it. I just haven't done it yet. Decorated the inside cover as her front cover, so I'm just not going to show that to you. So that's my flip through. Again, these videos are super long. That's my flip through. I know it's a little bit late, but hopefully you still enjoy it, even though it is late. I'll do my best to try to get March up a little bit earlier. I mean, this has just been sitting here for like 10 days, really. I mean, it's been done. It's not like I touched it after February ended, but I just haven't flipped through it for the video. So that's kind of like that season of my life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video. Bye guys.